really have to believe in yourself to succeed? Or can you win even while doubting everything? Let's unpack the surprising truth about success, mindset, and why self-belief might be the most overrated advice you've ever heard.
An ode to people who don't believe in themselves. What comes first, belief or action? Do you need to believe that you can do a thing before you can do it? Fake it until you make it is one option, but incredibly hard if you're introspective and have low self-belief and high standards. So what about make it until you believe it?
Can I be successful without confidence? The answer is yes. Many high performers start with doubt, but they keep moving. Action is often the cure for low self-belief.
Here are some lessons that I've learned. You can believe you're not worthy of a thing and still attain it. You can be adamant that your efforts are going to go badly and still succeed. You can grip and grasp and fear and it ruin the enjoyment and be totally unwarranted and things still go well. You can have no self-belief and show up anyway.
Most of us think fear means something's wrong, but fear is often just evidence that you're doing something important. Progress and anxiety can coexist.
You can want more for yourself without knowing exactly what that looks like. You can doubt the process, question your talent, be uncertain that you're making progress, disparage your accomplishments, permanently feel like you're not working hard enough no matter how hard you work, never give yourself a break, fail to fully feel gratitude, be terrified of never reaching your goals, and still end up in a place that your 20-year-old self could not imagine you'd ever get to. Self-belief is overrated. Generate evidence, says Ryan Holiday. And this resilience of doing good things in spite of you not believing in them or believing that they're going to happen is pretty miraculous. That for all that I can say, you need to, I'm questioning whether or not it's virtuous to do something virtuous if you don't feel like you had any other choice. Ultimately, you can get to a place that you'd be very surprised by, regardless of how motivated you feel to get there.
How do I build confidence? Don't wait to feel ready. Build proof. Small wins stack into strong belief.
Like, the world really only knows the actions that you take. It doesn't know about the internal state until that then shows up in the way that you actually perform. So, yeah, some things to keep in mind. Number one, don't grip life so tightly. Being too serious creates a kind of brittle fragility, which a playful attitude insulates you against. Your goal is dynamic persistence over the long term.
Mental resilience isn't about grinding harder, it's about staying flexible. If you're burned out, ask, what would this be like if it were 10% more fun?
And taking things seriously gives you a huge advantage in bursts, but chronic seriousness makes you rigid and at risk of blow up. Question from Joe Hudson from the start of the year was, what would this be like if it was 10% more enjoyable? When you're sat in a meeting, when you're having a conversation with your partner, when you're playing sport, when you're doing something that you love or something that you hate or something that's in between, what would this be like if it was 10% more enjoyable? Matthew McConaughey said, make a sense of humor your default emotion. Number two, don't be so worried about winning that you forget what winning is supposed to feel like. Is your presiding feeling when things go well one of happiness and satisfaction or one of relief? Is it joy or simply the abatement of fear? And after a while of winning, you realize that how you win is more important than if you win. How you feel during the event is more important than the outcome of the event. How the people who read your work are impacted is more important than how many people are impacted. You can't be so terrified of failing that even the act of winning is made miserable.
This one's huge. So many entrepreneurs type, why don't I feel happy even after success? It's because they're addicted to stress. Winning doesn't feel good when fear is still in the driver's seat.
And number three, it's all vibes. Ultimately, you are doing things not to say that you've done them, but for the experience of having done them. When you look back, it's the experience itself and not just the outcome that matters. Sure, outcomes are more important than inputs, but vibes are more important than all of that still, because That's what you're going to remember, your felt experience of it. And one of the big determining factors in how you feel will be the outcome.
How to enjoy the process, not just the result, are growing fast. Vibes matter. Your life isn't a spreadsheet. It's a series of moments, and most of them happen on the way, not at the top.
I'm not saying that you need to forget about winning, forget about your desires and your goals and just like enjoy the moment under a tree on fucking psilocybin. You still need to go and do the things, but do not derogate how important the actual process and making sure that you enjoy it is. And oddly enough, optimizing for how you feel detaches you from caring about the outcomes, but is the very thing that will drive outcomes the most. And if it doesn't, what do you care because you're enjoying it? And number 4, emotional pain is a hell of a teacher, but it won't kill you. Would life be easier if you didn't feel everything so very deeply? Perhaps. But the only reason you're getting the outcomes that you want is because of your depth of thought. And as bad as it feels, this that you're going through right now is the breadth of human experience.
This is gold. People Google things like how to deal with emotional pain, or does pain make you stronger? The truth, your deepest discomfort often holds your greatest growth.
And you're alive, and your inner landscape is a fascinating world to explore. So act with curiosity. And what you are doing right now, your goals, the desire for attainment, your attachments to this world, they're hypotheses to be tested, not ideologies to be proved. And number 5 is your goal to survive or thrive or flourish. Because you have probably dealt with everything that life has thrown at you so far. Do you think that it's because of the way that you grasped and controlled and feared and ruminated? Or could it be because you're a capable, competent, gifted person and the world is fundamentally fair, and over a long enough time horizon, most people get what they deserve?
Ask yourself, did I succeed because of my anxiety or in spite of it? Sometimes our coping mechanisms get the credit for survival, but it's your strength, not your fear, that got you here.
Number 6, you're doing this for you. And this is something I've only realized relatively recently, but after a certain level of material comfort, the only person that you need to do this thing for is you. Your conscience knows when you're being honest and when you're not. I think optimizing to make that person happy, that conscience happy, is a really good idea. You should basically be the person that your mum thinks you are, or the person that your younger self wanted as a role model. Brave, courageous, earnest, honest, virtuous, like on fire.
This is one of the most powerful reframes you'll hear today. If you're lost, don't chase random goals. Ask, what would the best version of me do right now? That's your compass.
There's this quote from the ancient Greeks that says, live as though all your ancestors were living again through you. I really love that. We judge people based on how much life they can tolerate, how much feeling they can deal with and carry and enjoy. And that's something that we should all try and have more of in ourselves. Being that person that your younger self wanted as a role model, or being the person that your mum thinks you are, I think is a good rubric.
So no, you don't need perfect confidence. You don't need to wait until you feel ready. You need to keep showing up, even on the days when you're filled with doubt. The world doesn't reward how certain you feel, it rewards the actions you take. And here's the truth most people miss. You can build a life you love, even while questioning if you're worthy of it. If this video gave you a shift in perspective, even just a small one, hit that like button so YouTube knows this message matters. Subscribe for more content that goes deeper than surface level motivation. We talk mindset, performance, philosophy, and how to actually enjoy the life you're building. And if you're still watching right now, I want you to comment below, I'm showing up anyway, because that might be the most powerful decision you ever make. Until next time, stay thoughtful, stay real, and keep going.